Good afternoon. Welcome to GrainTV. My name's Cody Bills. This is Logan Burgess. Today's Friday the 14th for the weekly wrap-up. Let's get right into fire tip here. See where the markets closed. Corn was up 10 1/4. Beans up 18 1/2. Wheat was up 5 1/2, and Kansas City wheat traded up 2 1/2. This morning we had NOPA crush numbers. They came out and they really started to spark this rally, and we trended higher the rest of the day. Logan, what was in those numbers?
Yeah, Cody. Well, we did see 157 million bushels of beans reported crushed during the month of November. That was right in line with trade expectations, but the trade had set those expectations pretty darn high. After Tuesday's USDA report, we saw the crush number revised 10 million bushels higher. So I think this was really strong confirmation that demand in this bean market remains red hot right now. As a result, we saw beans close the day up 18 1/2 cents.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess one of the things that shocked me a little bit today was the fact that corn rallied back when it was really a soybean number that was so strong. Right. I guess, corn, we've looked at this chart, it just doesn't have a lot of strength behind it. The demand scenario is very weak. Do you anticipate this little rally that we saw in corn continuing into next week?
I'm a little bit hesitant to think that we're going to drift a lot higher here in corn. I mean, if we just take a look at the chart right now, we've really tested that 720 area, 2 times here recently within the last month and a half or so. And we really moved lower here. We tested it a couple times, and the fundamentals just aren't in corn right now as it seems they are in beans. We're not seeing strong demand out of the ethanol sector. We're not seeing strong demand, very poor demand on the export sales front. So it seems like to me this thing's just kind of drifting lower until we do get some more demand side news, I guess.
Yeah, and I would tend to agree with you there. And one other thing I'd like to add on is if you back out in terms of the time frame, you look over a longer period of time, you'll notice that last year after we printed a high, we just kind of drifted lower. Now, every time we broke through these support levels, we didn't have just a drop. We didn't have that kind of impulse lower that you see after just vertical moves higher. We saw a controlled kind of a very longer sloping downtrend, and I think that's really what we're going to be seeing here. Right now, we don't have the export sales that we'd like to see. Yep. We don't have the ethanol grind that we'd like to see, and I think that is cause for concern. Most likely, we'll be going down and testing 7 here sooner rather than later.
Yeah, Cody, if we switch over here and take a look at beans real quick on that January contract, very different story here right now in beans. With that NOPA number, we're now firmly back above that 200-day moving average. And, like we've been talking about, it really seems like right now the fundamentals in beans do support a move higher here over the next month or so. This crop from South America is still far from finished and is a long time off. The fundamentals are certainly there in the bean market, and U.S. is really the only shop in town right now. So I guess I'm kind of looking at this bean market a little bit more favorably than corn. Are you in agreement, or are you taking a different side on
I'm 100% in agreement. I really think that we went up there. We didn't even really get a chance to test 15. Right. I think we're going to be testing it very early next week, obviously, because we're only a couple cents away. Yep. I think there's a good chance we're going to be mounting that 14 or that 15 level and moving higher. Right now, the demand is very strong in terms of crushing. We have great export sales, huge export sales this week. Right. I think that's all very strong, and we're going to have to see some kind of demand rationing. It's just not happening down here at these levels. So most likely, I would anticipate beans to be moving higher in the coming weeks.
Cody, you did mention those export sales. Absolutely huge this week for beans. Corn met analyst expectations, in comparison to what we've seen throughout this marketing year. A good showing for corn, I guess. What are we seeing that carry over into the cash market right now, or what's going on
Well,
there?
Once again, we have weakness in terms of demand for corn, right. And I think once again it's kind of showing it here, especially throughout the cash market. The corn market basis was up across the board this week on average across the U.S., but it was only up a penny. And you can see here there was weakness in the eastern part of the U.S. Now, if you take a look at beans, it's a completely different story. We were up 4 cents on average across the U.S. I think that's very strong, and along the river we're up even more. We are up as high as 7 cents across the river, and to me that just continues to show the strong demand for soybeans. Quite frankly, in a shorter time frame, next month or so, I'm pretty bullish here for beans.
Yeah, absolutely, Cody. Right now, the fundamentals seem to be in alignment. Cash market supporting that. 130 million bushels of bean carryout is exceptionally low. A lot of people are going to be looking for that number to possibly be revised even lower in the January report, but certainly a lot of things will be affecting that coming down the pipe. Probably most importantly, export sales. We'll be getting those next Thursday. As it pertains to the corn market next week, we'll watch those ethanol production numbers coming out on Wednesday very closely. But I think that kind of wraps up our show here for Friday afternoon. afternoon. Thanks a lot for joining us, guys, here on Grain TV. Have a great weekend out there. We'll see you back here.